from the School of Medical Sciences. And along with me,
I am Ritika Sengupta, student of B Pharm School of Medical Sciences.
Would like to welcome our Honorable Dean Sir, respected HOD Sir, our prestigious faculty members, and all my dear friends, seniors, and my juniors. I welcome you all on this optimistic event where we are celebrating the second National Pharmacovigilance Week. Today, we have with us Mr. Tarun Kumar Chattopadhyay as our guest speaker, who is working as an operations specialist in drug safety in IQVIA. A very heartily welcome to you, sir. It's an earnest request to please mute yourself. So as today we are celebrating the second...
As a host, we can mute them, actually mute.
Yes, so we are doing it, sir. So as today we are celebrating the second National Pharmacovigilance Week based on the theme of encouraging reporting of adverse drug reaction by patients. This week's aim is to make the public and healthcare professionals aware about the importance of adverse drug reaction to improve a patient's safety. So moving forward, I would like to ask Professor Dr. Shajal Kumar Jha, Associate Dean of SOMS, to deliver few words on this event. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to everyone. And I must congratulate my team, SOMS, the faculty members, the students who have conceptualized this program. And today we are meeting in a very, the importance topic or the theme, which is again suggested by the Pharmacy Council of India also, that we need to celebrate the National Pharmacovigilance Week. Because this week dedicated to the patient safety, which is very, very important. Because we, the healthcare providers, maybe doctors, the nursing and the pharmacists, we know that these are, because we are directly dealing with the medicines and vaccines, which actually normally we have used for the prevention and treatment of many diseases. Now, as you know that when we are talking about the formulation, the drug, the medicines, always there is associated side effects also. So definitely sometimes the side effects are expected, sometimes they are unexpected side effects. So that is why the role of pharmacovigilance comes there, because the pharmacovigilance we define as that this is the science and the activities which are related to the detection, assessment, the understanding and the prevention of adverse effect. So understanding is very, very important. Then only there will be a question of prevention. It may be related to medicine, it may be related to vaccines. And as you know that quality control is an important parameter. Always we say that whatever we are developing, formulating, that must pass through the various quality control parameters present by different regulatory authorities. And at the same time, we have to see that all medicine and vaccines, they must undergo the rigorous testings of safety and efficacy through the different clinical trials. And so that then only we can go for using. So I think today we have Mr. Chattopadhyay with us. He is the expert in this field. And I welcome you on behalf of School of Medical Sciences. And the next 1 hour, I think detailed deliberation will be there on the pharmacovigilance, the importance of pharmacovigilance. And as a student also, I ask all how to job avenue, a career process. and
weakness
the
strengths है मैंने लिखा
then and at the end of the program we need the regarding pharmacovigilance. These are the question in the experts. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to share your views. Please continue. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Dipanjana, you are on mute. I think you need to unmute yourself.
So am I audible?
Yeah, fine. Now you are audible. Yes.
Okay, so thank you, sir, for your valuable words. So now I would request Mr. Tarun Kumar Chattopadhyay to start with his presentation.
Yes. So, good morning, everyone. My warm regards to all of you, and thank you, Dipanjana, for the wonderful introductions you have given. So we can move on, right, into the session. Please confirm once.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So I'll be presenting my screen. Just please confirm if my screen is visible. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Okay, so today we are here to discuss some of the introductions of pharmacovigilance. Then we will come to the main topic of our this pharmacovigilance week that we are currently celebrating. So first we will see the overview, or you can say it's an introduction of pharmacovigilance. So let's start. So why we will do the pharmacovigilance in terms of healthcare system, in terms of adverse event reporting. So that we will discuss first. Okay. So this is the agenda of today's session. First, we will have some introduction to pharmacovigilance. In short form, we can say this as PV. PV stands for pharmacovigilance in industry. Then we will discuss why pharmacovigilance required and some associated areas. Those are the areas which is related to PV, and some areas where we can work, or you people, when most of you are students currently. So when you people will be working, so on those areas we will see what are the areas we can do our work as after completing our B Pharm or M Pharm. Then we will discuss some terminologies that is associated with PV. Then we will see the steps of adverse event reporting. So there are various kind of steps which there into the system where we can report the adverse event. So we will discuss those. Then we will see some various health authorities. So what is health authorities? What is regulatory authorities? We will discuss those things. Then yes, anyone is asking anything? Okay, fine. Then we will discuss the pharmacovigilance program of India. What is the current scenario in pharmacovigilance in India? And we will see the role of PVPI. PVPI is the main organization or main body of pharmacovigilance in India under the CDSCO or DGCI, you can say. Then we will see the role of patient as well as the healthcare professional in adverse event reporting. And in the last, we will see what are the reporting tools available in India in terms of adverse event reporting. Then we will have question and answer sessions. We will discuss if there is any questions, we will discuss those. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So first we will discuss what is pharmacovigilance, right? So as per WHO or as per World Health Organization, you all of you must have know that what is who is WHO and what do they work as World Health Organization. So as per WHO, pharmacovigilance is the science and activities relating to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effect or any other medicine related problem. Okay. Let's define what pharmacovigilance is. That was the definition as per WHO. And in a smaller scale or in a short form, we can say pharmacovigilance is about the monitoring of the safety and safety of medicines. The term pharmacovigilance relates to both the science and the actions to be taken to ensure that the medicines are safe and to reduce their risk and increase their benefits. Okay. In next few minutes, we will learn more details on pharmacovigilance. Okay. I'd request everyone, if you are not talking, please go on mute. So otherwise, background sounds will be disturbing. So coming to the next agenda, that is, why do we need pharmacovigilance? What is the necessity of pharmacovigilance? Because if we run a pharmacovigilance, there will be a costing, right? We need to hire people, we need to train them, we need to get the job done. So these are some parameters we need to, or factors we need to work upon, right? So everything is related to cost. So why a company will run a pharmacovigilance program or pharmacovigilance in their own cost? So that we will see in this slide. So firstly, we are always learning more about medicines. So medicines are tested extensively in clinical trials before they are authorized. I would request to the host, could you please tell those who are talking? So much background noise is coming actually. So medicines are tested extensively in clinical trials before they are authorized, and at this time their safety is evaluated. However, more can be learned once the medicines are in use. So pharmacovigilance is therefore vital. It means that the safety of all medicines is monitored throughout their use, and information on risk is generated and appropriate actions can be taken. Okay. So basically, why we will do pharmacovigilance? This is the when we require more safety information, more safety related data to a particular medicine. For that reason, we will do pharmacovigilance. Once it is on the market, it is already tested in clinical trial, but it may happen that some patient, or maybe in some patient in some patient population, it might create some different type of adverse effect or side effects, right? To study those things, or to study those adverse event parameters, we need to do, or we need to perform pharmacovigilance activity. Okay. So here are some key areas of pharmacovigilance. As you can see, history, we can say how the pharmacovigilance comes from. So then we will go to Adr reports, PSUR, PBRR, PEDR. So these are some safety events, you can say, or these are some safety parameters where we assess the adverse effect. Aggregate report means is when a patient or when a particular populations will be under a pharmacovigilance process. Okay. Then the adverse event and adverse drug reactions. These are the basic things of pharmacovigilance where we deal the adverse effect and adverse drug reactions, right? Then this is the MEDRA. MEDRA means it's a medicinal dictionary or medical dictionary, you can say, for regulatory activities. Suppose one patient is reporting any type of adverse event or any type of side effects. So when we will be coding those adverse effect or adverse event into our database, so there will be a specific database to maintain a record of this particular adverse effect. So in that particular database, we need to code these adverse events. So for coding this particular adverse events or adverse effect, we need to use this dictionary. This is a specialized dictionary, MEDRA, where you can, if you Google it also, you will get it. Some ICH is an organization that is the International Community of Harmonization. So that particular company or that particular organization will upload a specific MEDRA dictionary into their site, and we need to, across the PV or across the industry, this is the mostly used medicinal dictionary for event coding or any type of health related side effects coding. Okay. Then coming to pharmacovigilance audits and inspection. So if we are performing any type of work, there will be some audit, there will be some inspection, right? So in B Pharm or in M Pharm, you must have done the industrial project. Here, there also you have gone to some industrial area, like in any pharma companies. There also you can say you must have seen that some companies running their audits and inspection, or whenever a system will run to inspect that system if it is working correctly, if it is properly working or not, we need to perform audits and inspection, right? So that is also here in our pharmacovigilance sections. Then this risk management and pharmacovigilance. Risk management is also related to how we can manage the risk of a particular adverse effect. RMP, we can say risk management plan. Then this is individual case safety report. So individual case safety report is deals where a patient comes under a therapy having any side effects and reporting to a certain authority. It may be his or her personal healthcare professional. It may be into the company website. It may be into the government website, that is the regulatory body of that particular or specific country. Okay. And last of all, that is the signal management in pharmacovigilance. So this is for individual case safety, and this aggregate report is for cumulative patient details. That means if you have only a single patient over here in individual case safety reports, in aggregate report, you might be having more than 100 or more than 200, a certain numbers of patients and their adverse effect and the trend of the adverse effect, that what kind of adverse event people are getting or the patients are getting, that will be studied over here in this aggregate report section. And then as per the aggregate report, we will discuss or we will prepare the signal. That means if there is any new specific signal means here you can say that any specific new adverse event which is commonly coming to those specific group of people. So that will be assessed here as a signal, new signal. Here means it's a new adverse event mostly. Okay. So this is, we can say, as a signal management of pharmacovigilance. So these are some key areas where people can work in pharmacovigilance sector. Okay. Now coming to some terminologies related to pharmacovigilance. So there are three terms we can say broadly, that is side effect, adverse drug reactions, and adverse event. So first we will see what is, but there is a little bit in like it's not like a huge difference, but there are small distinguished there available. So first we will see the side effect. So what is side effect? Side effect is the response to a drug which is unintended and which occurs at doses normally used in man for prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy of disease. Then coming to adverse event, that is AE. So adverse events, I think you must have gone through pharmacology during your study hours, right? So in pharmacology subject, you will also get these terms, right? Side effect, adverse event, adverse drug reactions. So these are some key parameters or key base, you can say, for pharmacovigilance. If you want to come into pharmacovigilance, you need to know these terminologies very well. Okay, you should be well adversed with the difference between AE and ADR, because if you come across any interview for pharmacovigilance, this will be the basic questions for you. What is a adverse event and how does it differentiate with ADR? So that we will be discussing. So in adverse event, what will happen? Any untoward medical occurrence in a patient or clinical investigation, subject administered a medicinal product and which does not necessarily have to have a causal relationship with the treatment. So what is causal relationship? Causal relationship is basically whether it's related to drug or whether it's not related to drug. So that will be the causal relationship. If it is related to drug, then we can say yes, there is a causal relationship with the suspect and the event. And if it is not related to drug, if it is not due to the drug, that particular adverse event, then we can say yes, there there is no causal relationship with the suspect product and event. Okay. Then coming to ADR, adverse drug reactions. So ADR is basically the response to a drug which is noxious, unintended, and which occurs at doses normally used in man for prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy of disease. A causal relationship between the drug and the occurrence is suspect. Okay, so here, as you can see, for ADR, a causal relationship should be there with the drug, right? Then only we can say that is an ADR, adverse drug reactions. Okay. Then the next terminologies we will be getting, that is medication error. Okay. So medication error, what is medication error? So medication error could occur during prescribing, transcribing, dispensing, administering a drug. Examples of medication error include misreading or miswriting prescriptions. So as an example, we can I can tell you that suppose sometimes it may happen during dispensing that people are pharmacist is not reading properly, or the doctor's handwriting is too much complicated that the dispensing chemist is not able to understand. These are some dispensing due to that particular errors. Patient or the chemist give them incorrect medicine, or which is not mentioned or which is not intended by the doctor. So patient might have get a incorrect medicine or a another different medicine, right? So in that case also it will be a medication error. And same can happen with the during some injections. Sometimes it may happen that the vials are not properly sterilized. It may happen that some when it is stored, that particular storage condition is not properly maintained, temperature is not properly maintained. So these are some medication errors we can say as an examples. So there are so many medications error you can see in your around our world. So medication error are most common than adverse event, but result in harmless that less than 1% of the time. About 25% of adverse event are due to medication error. So if you see the scenario of adverse event, we can see statistically that 25% of adverse event are very common due to medication error. Sometimes it may happen that people are getting incorrect medication. The process which is needs to be followed to administer the particular injection or any particular medication, on that time that particular process is not followed by the standard procedures. So in that case, it will lead you or it will lead the patient to a medication error, right? But not all medication error lead to adverse outcome. Okay. I would request everyone please be on mute. Okay, so you can see this is the diagram of for better understanding what is adverse drug event and what is adverse drug reactions and how do we define medication error. Okay. Okay. So now we will discuss a journey of an adverse event report. Okay. So first we need to know what is adverse event, right? We already discussed what is adverse event. So there are some steps which included over here. How do we how this A reporting process is evolved? So that we will see in this slide. And before going to this, I'd highlight to one point. This adverse event may occur in different type of seriousness. All of you must have heard, or maybe if you are not aware, then I can tell you that once an adverse event is occurring, that means that particular adverse event is having a seriousness. That means if a particular adverse event leads you in hospitalization, or due to that particular event patient died, so in that case it will be a seriousness. There will be a specific seriousness, that is hospitalization is a seriousness, fatal outcome is a seriousness, that means patient died, that means it is a serious event. Okay. And if it is like any other rash or anything which is not lead you to hospitalization, but you are taking any medication, any treatment for that particular event, that we can take as consideration as a non-serious event. So there will be specific timelines to submit those adverse event to particular regulatory authority. So these are some technicalities. I'm not going deep into those sites, but just for your information, once an adverse event is reported, there must be a seriousness. Okay, that means that particular adverse event should be serious. It should be non-serious. Both can happen. Serious, there have some different categories of serious event. Just now I said that some hospitalization events can be there, some medically significance can be there, and sometimes due to some laboratory parameters. Suppose your hemoglobin count is quite low, it's below average, like 5 times lower than the normal range. So in that time also we can take that hemoglobin count low as a serious event. So there are some specific criteria. Once you will be there in the industry, you can get to know all these things. Okay. Okay, so moving to this A reporting steps, the process of pharmacovigilance involves several distinct steps, such as collections of information on potential side effects, detecting if any new or changing side effects have arisen, deciding if actions is needed to optimize the safe and effective use of the medicines, and then communicating this to the users of the medicines. So these are some steps we need to follow. It is also important to follow up as to whether the actions taken have been effective. So once we generate or once we submit a report, suppose I am a patient, I am submitting a report to a health authority or to a pharma company, and pharma company can ask, or the health authority can ask some follow-up information in regards of my report. Okay, so in that case also patients also need to be cooperative with the pharma company or with the submission authority where patient is submitting his adverse event. Okay, so this is this diagram. You can say this is the steps. What is the inner scenario? How do we monitor the side effect? So these slides is basically for European Medicine Agency. So as you can see here, this is the patient. If patient is experiencing any adverse drug reactions, patient might come to his or her healthcare professional. That means patient might go to the doctor or physician. Okay, patient can directly report to a adverse event. Patient can directly fill to a adverse event report form to any health authorities or any pharma companies. Okay, and his or her healthcare professional also can fill this adverse event reaction report or adverse drug reaction form in behalf of patient. Okay, so this is this is how we get to know adverse drug reactions report. Then this report will be submitted to pharmaceutical company or NCA. NCA means the National Competent Authority. For India, it is CDSCO, and for European country, it is National Competent Authority. Then this pharmaceutical company will do. A pharmaceutical company will be databasing or will be archiving that particular event into a specific database. Okay, so widely, you can say widely used database is Argus, where we usually work. Argus is a safety database. Then Oracle is also another safety database, and Ares is also there, Ares Global. So these are some safety database or clinical database. There are two types of database, that is clinical database and safety database. Clinical database is basically used for data management, that is the ongoing clinical trial, whereas the safety database is used for the coding or the reporting the adverse event related to safety. Okay. So as you can see, this Vigilance human. So Vigilance is basically a database for European country or European region. If you see the India, there will be another different database will be there. Okay. So company or the national competent authority will be doing the database of that particular event or report. Then after it is database, safety monitoring will start. Okay, so how we monitor the safety, that we will discuss in later part. Okay. Both medicines regulators and pharmaceutical company monitor the safety of medicine for as long as they are on market and if necessary, and will take the actions to protect patient in any European country. When adverse reaction or side effect occur, an individual can either report this directly or can inform their healthcare professional. So what we discussed just now, an adverse event or adverse drug reactions report is completed and is then sent to the pharmaceutical company or to the national competent authority, who then transmit this information to Vigilance. So Vigilance is basically a database we already discussed. So there the company or the competent authority will databasing this particular report. So Vigilance is a database which is the central repository for reports, data storage, data analysis, and side effects report in the European region, and European Medicines Agency is responsible for maintaining this database. Reports are constantly monitored for any signals that indicate unexpected reactions to a particular medicines. So what will happen here? Suppose one particular product has come to the market. Okay. So before coming to the market, there will be so many clinical trials must be done before coming to the market, right? So from that clinical trial, some events, patient or the volunteers, those who participated into the clinical trial, must have come across with some adverse event, right? So for those adverse event, it is already documented that if patient take that particular medicine, suppose A is a product, A has come to the market. Before coming to the market, A has underwent through various clinical trials. So from that trials, there have some adverse event reported already. Okay, so those adverse event is expected. So company will be maintaining a data sheet. You can say company code data sheet, or for US it is United States package inserts. So if you see any medicine, suppose an eye drop or a tablet, you will get a leaflet over there in the packet, right? So if you see the leaflet, there will be mentioning some particular adverse effect, that there will be some caution, there will be some information related to particular product, that if you take this medicine, this can happen. So those are expected adverse event, you can say. So company will not be bothering about expected adverse event. Company will be look into unexpected adverse event, those which is not expected, which has not come during the time of clinical trial. When the particular product is not in the market, in that time, if any particular adverse event is reported, company will not bother into that. Company will be more focusing on the new adverse event which is not reported into clinical trial. So that's why in this liner it is saying that reports are constantly monitored for any signal that indicate unexpected reactions to a particular medicine. Okay. So these are some various regulatory authorities of various countries, as you can see. So first we will go by US. So in US, so what is first, you need to know what is health authorities. So health authorities is basically, or regulatory authorities is basically a country specific governing body for medicines, where a medicine needs to be approved to market, to sell, and to consume for the patient. Okay. Suppose if you are marketing any products in India, it must be approved by CDSCO or the DGCI, Drug Control General of India, right? So that is the same scenario for each and every country. So these are some like famous health authorities, as you can see. First, we will go by US. So US FDA, US Food and Drug Administration. Then coming to MHRA, MHRA is for Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency. So this is for United Kingdom, that is related to UK. Then European Medicines Evaluation Agency, that is EMEA, that is for EU region. So UK has their own separate governing body, whereas other than UK, there will be a separate body, that is European Medicines Evaluation Agency, EMEA. And then coming to TGA, TGA is for Australia, that is Therapeutic Goods Administration. Then Health Canada, that is for Canada. Then for India, it is CDSCO, Central Drug Standard Control Organization. For Switzerland, it is Swissmedic. And for Japan, it's PMDA, Pharmaceuticals Medical Devices Agency. So if you check in internet also, this information is available, right? So you will get to know what are the regulatory bodies of different country across the world. Okay. So these are some examples I have given for a brief idea for you. Okay. Now coming to pharmacovigilance program of India. So what is the current scenario of India in pharmacovigilance, and how did it come to India? Okay, we will see those pointers. So in India, PVPI is the main pharmacovigilance program of India, right? So it was launched by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare by Government of India in the year of 2010 at AIIMS, New Delhi, as National Coordinating Center. Okay. The program then transferred to IPC. IPC means you must have known that it is the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, right? So as NCC in April 2011 by a notification issued by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, that is the Government of India. Then IPC and PVPI became the NCC for Meteorologicals Program of India, that is MVPI, from July 2015. Okay. Then IPC, NCC, PVPI became a WHO WHO Collaborating Center for Pharmacovigilance in Public Health Programs and Regulatory Services from July 2017. So basically, currently it is collaborating with WHO to reporting any adverse event or any work of pharmacovigilance under this panel, this IPC, NCC, PVPI. Okay, so this organization is currently working in India to collecting or to look after the entire process of pharmacovigilance in India under the public health programs and regulatory services. Okay, so these are some organizational structure we can see in India for pharmacovigilance. Okay, now coming to ADR reporting in India. So in India, how this ADR reporting cycle works, that is given into this structure, into this short you can see. So here you can see the reporting tools is available. Okay, so report will come via this reporting tools. You can call, you can fill the adverse event, healthcare professional, patients or other may report ADR directly to the NCC, PVPI or AMCs via mobile app or toll-free number. Okay, then it will be going for case processing, quality review, and for before going to case processing, validity should be performed, whether that particular report is a valid report or not. We need to consider that thing as well. So coming to that point, what report we will be considering, or which report we will be considering as valid. So if a report can be a invalid, a report can be a valid, so depending upon certain criteria. So if we go that criteria, so for a valid report, we must be having 4 things. in that particular report. So first thing is a valid patient, identifiable valid patient, then identifiable reporter, then a suspect product, and an adverse event. So these are 4 criteria. If these 4 criteria are available into a specific report, then only we will be considering those report as a valid report. Otherwise, it will be an invalid report. So invalid report will not be considering for submission or reporting. Only valid report will be considering as a will go for submission or reporting purpose. Okay. Then if it's the invalid report, the case will be reverted and it will be reported to ADR monitoring center. Thus, we receive this ADR as an invalid report. And if it's a valid report, then it will be going for causality assessment and data mining of report. The causality assessment means that is the same thing. That is the relationship of between the adverse event and drug, causal relation that we need to assess. So in PV, we basically do causality assessment, listedness part, whether it's a listed event or it's an unlisted event. There will be some data sheet. We need to refer those data sheet during our day-to-day work. So by that, we will be doing the data mining of reports. Okay. Once this data mining is done, we will be reporting this information. We will be reporting these informations to Global Safety Data Collection, that is UMC, Uppsala Monitoring Center. So Uppsala Monitoring Center is collaborating with WHO. It's a subsidiaries of WHO, you can say, World Health Organization, where each and every country sends their report, sends their new signal. If there is any new signal is coming, new particular adverse event is coming, that will be reported into WHO Uppsala Monitoring Center. Okay. And some of the reports and most of the reports will go to regulatory actions for CDSCO. So before going to the next slide, I can tell you one thing, that in some cases, it may happen that current ongoing molecule, which is already there in the market, can be restricted or can be picked up from market, and company can be claimed, or the patient who is using those particular therapy in a certain point of time. So those can be claimed, those patient can be claimed their money back also in some cases. Okay. So in 2015 or 2014, I can't remember exactly, in India, there was a scenario where the pioglitazone molecule, all of you must have known that pioglitazone is a molecule, right? So pioglitazone molecule was banned for a certain period of time. It was like 6 to 7 months. It was banned in India due to the adverse effect. Okay, so this is the importance of pharmacovigilance. Specific molecule which is doing well in the market and which is a huge number of patient group, and companies are getting revenues from them. Companies are getting benefited after selling those molecules into market. Suddenly, due to some adverse event, a molecule got stopped. Okay, and it was picked up by the health authorities. The CDSCO on that time, it was banned by the DGCI that you can't be sell pioglitazone molecule. It was happened in 2014 or 15. 6 to 7 months that pioglitazone was not sold in India on that time. So this is the importance of pharmacovigilance. Okay. So these are some data. You can see the monitoring center and the status in India. So as we can see, mainly government hospitals, okay, and non-government hospitals will run or will monitor or will work as a reporting center in India. Okay. And apart from this, some TB treatment center, ART centers, corporate hospitals, army hospitals, district hospitals, and some municipal hospitals available, those who run this pharmacovigilance system as a monitoring center. Okay. And this is the ADR reporting status. You can see, if we consider from India's perspective, in India, PV has come quite later. In 2011, it was started. After in 2010 only, it is like the government body has established, right? So from 2011, this reporting has started in India. That is quite long after the globally PV was established. Okay, pharmacovigilance was established. So from 2011, you can see the gradual increasement of this graph, right? In the 2017, this is the latest. This is not the latest data you can see. So up to 2017, the number is quite increasing, right? It is started in the 14,000. In the 2017, it was increased by almost 72,000 in terms of adverse event reporting in India, right? So people are getting aware day by day. People are getting awareness, and people are knowing what is this pharmacovigilance and why it is important, and why reporting is important. Most very crucial thing is the reporting to tell. So in India, some people are there, on most of us, like in my home, in your home, and maybe anyone can be. If I take a paracetamol as well, if I get a itchy rash or anything in our body, we won't be going to report it, right? But if you see in the US, in the European country, if a specific medicine causing a simple normal headache also, that also will be reported. Patients are that much aware in those European Union or European countries and US countries. But in India, there is require of awareness. Indian people need to be aware for the adverse effect of medicines, because medicine will cure you, that is fine, but safer side, it is, if you see the other side of the medicine, they might create some adverse effect which is not wanted, which is unwanted adverse effect, right? We do not want that particular scenario. So that's why this reporting comes from. We need to report each and everything, whatever we are getting after having a medicine. Okay. Then coming to the roles of patient and healthcare professional in adverse event reporting. So patient and healthcare professional are the integral part of adverse event reporting system. Reporting starts from the point where the patient experienced any side effects after taking any medications for an existing conditions. Patient and healthcare professional participate as expert in specialists such as scientific advisory or ad hoc expert groups, or can contribute via written consultations on risk minimization actions, will be involved in public hearings, and that will be convened around particular issues. Finally, HCPs review the product information and safety announcement. HCPs have the key role on assessing the risk-benefit ratio for a medicine. So this is very much important, this slides, because of what is the role of a patient, how a patient will communicate with pharma companies or with the reporting agencies. So it is also a responsibility for a patient to report each and everything, whatever they are asking informations. If as a patient, I am reporting an adverse event to a particular health authority or particular health company, pharma company, then also it is my responsibility to give them entire information, whatever medicine I am using currently. Suppose I am taking a B medicine. Okay, suppose product is B, but I have some pre-existing condition like hypertension, diabetes, or anything. For that also, I am taking some medicines. Okay, but I am not telling them that I am having hypertension and diabetes, and I am having these medications for these particular conditions, hypertension and diabetes. So that should not be fair. So when you are reporting an particular adverse event, you must say your pre-existing conditions. If you have any abnormalities, if you have any birth defects for a particular patient, you need to tell each and everything. Small thing will impact the reporting. Okay. Your habits, that means if you are smoking, drinking, those habits will also comes under adverse event reporting. It might impact the entire case scenarios. It may happen that one of your habits can impact the reporting. Okay, so whatever the information you will be giving or the patient will be giving, that should be more accurate and that should be more elaborate. Okay, that is the patient side. And patient also can attend some advisory board or ad hoc expert group to contribute their contribution, or to contribute the what we can say, the adverse event, what they are getting, and discuss those things with the consultant. So, and that is the patient part. And for HCPs also has a crucial role. HCP means we, the pharmacists, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedical staffs, even a radiologist, ultrasonologist, each and every people. So HCPs also needs to be aware of this thing, that what adverse event can occur after taking taking any medications. So HCP will review those product informations, and accordingly they will try to communicate to the patient that these are some expected adverse event you may come across. For that you can take this medicines, or you can take the lesser dose. So as per their guidance, patient will be benefited. Okay. And HCPs are the most crucial, that is the assessing the risk benefit ratio. When an HCP or a physician will be prescribing any particular drug, the physician must need to be think that whether it will be safe for the patient. Okay. So this is the main crucial thing, the role of patient and healthcare professional in terms of adverse event reporting. Okay. Then coming to reporting tools in India. So what are the tools available in India? First of all, we can go to the adverse event reporting portal available in CDSCO website. So you can see this is the link available. I'm giving this link also. So from this link, you will be getting an adverse event form. Okay, you need to fill those particular form. I will show you once. So if you go into the website, it will take you through this form. Okay, you can see suspect adverse drug reaction reporting form. So here you need to put your patient initials. That means suppose my name is Tarun Kumar Chakrabarty, so I will be putting initials TKC. Like this, you need to put your initials, first name, first letter of your first name, and first letter of your last name. Okay. Initial case, follow-up case. That means if you have already reported earlier, then it will be a follow-up case. If you are reporting for the first time, then it will be an initial case. Gender, weight, body. If you don't know your body weight, that is also fine, but don't give any wrong information or incorrect information. Okay. So this is the adverse event form. Here you can mention your description of adverse event, relevant investigation with dates. So if you have performed any laboratory, suppose hemoglobin count or X-ray or anything, if you have done anything, then you need to mention that with dates. Then relevant medical history, medication history. If you have any pre-existing medication, if you have any particular allergies, it may happen that some people have allergies on certain foods, or some heat allergies, or some mist allergies, any type of allergies. Then some dysfunctions, or like if you have any pre-existing disorders, that also you can mention. Then coming to the seriousness, if it is serious or non-serious, that is also you need to mention. Okay. Then outcome means what is the current status of that particular adverse event. Okay. Suppose if you had a fever, so if it is recovered, you can say with recovered with sequelae, or complete recovered, you can say. If it is not recovered, if it is ongoing, then you can check on this box. If you do not know the outcome, that what is current status, you can put it as unknown. Like this you can mention. Then the suspected medication, so after taking which medication this adverse event occurred, those medications will be the suspected medication. And apart from suspect, if you take any another medication for your pre-existing condition, so that we can say as concomitant medication product. So that also you need to mention. Then lastly, your details, who is reporting. If your physician is reporting, then the physician details will be there. If patient himself or herself is reporting, then your details will be there, patient's details will be there. Okay. And then the signature and name of receiving personnel, those that they're for office purpose only. Okay. So this is the suspect adverse drug reaction reporting form of India. Okay. Okay. So, and one more thing, apart from this reporting, adverse event reporting form, you can also call into this toll-free number to report adverse event. And there is a mobile app as well, that is PVPI. after downloading this PVPI mobile app, you can register your adverse events. Okay. So these are some reporting tools currently available in India. So that's it from my end. I'm opening for questions. If you have any questions, then we can have discussed those questions as well. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is one question in the chat box, sir.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll go on into the chat box.
Sir, can you tell me about something about pharmaceutical industry? Sir, one question has been asked.
Can you tell me about something about pharmaceutical industry rule? See, pharmaceutical industry is a vast field, right? So in particular, which industry we're talking about, that is like manufacturing industry or like clinical trial industry or hospital industry. So after completing your pharmacy, you may work on manufacturing industry. F&D, formulation and development, is there. Technology transfer is a part of that formulation and development. Normal production is there, production and packaging, where medicines are getting prepared. There are some plants available in Sikkim, in Kolkata, in Himachal Pradesh, in Mumbai, Goa. On that side, in south, there are so many companies like Biocon is there, Hetero is there. In Hyderabad, there are various companies like Aurobindo Pharma is there. So there are some different manufacturing companies that are available in across the India. And if you see the clinical trial industry, then this was quite a new, but if you see the current scenario of pharmaceutical this pharmacovigilance industry, then I would say that currently it's getting saturated day by day. Specifically this pharmacovigilance sector, because it was a quite new, almost 10 to 12 years back. But if you see the current scenarios, there are some people who is struggling with their jobs in pharmacovigilance, because day by day it's getting saturated. So if you go to the clinical data management section, if you go to the medical writing section, if you go to the aggregate reporting section, these are some parts where still some positions is vacant, and some these are some quite specific area I can suggest you to, and it will be helpful, or it will be like it will ensure you to grow into the market. Okay, as per today's update, or if you take the industry scenario, so that particular things are like what we can say. Suppose if you consider some out of the box, okay, out of the box means which is not that pretty much coming into the market, like this medical writing, this biostatistician. So biostatistician is a different part, it's not related to pharmacy, but in this industry, in pharmacovigilance industry, some biostatisticians, statistics people also work, so to handle this data. So if you consider yourself for industry, then I would suggest that clinical data management will be can be one of your choice. Then this medical writing, then this hospital pharmacist is also there. If you go into the outside, there are some scope of hospital pharmacies. So as a clinical pharmacologist also you can work if you are an MPharm pharmacy or MPharm pharmacology. So these are some parameters, or these are some areas of expertise where you can showcase your skills. Okay. And you need to decide that which part you will be looking for. First you need to decide that. As per that, you will be you need to apply for those jobs. Okay. And for clinical trial, I can suggest you that centralized monitoring trial team is there for each and every CRO. CRO means it's a contract research organization. So I work for a CRO company in Bangalore. So that is a contract research organization. So this research organization will basically get the jobs from pharma companies. Pharma companies means it can be the MNCs of outside US MNC, or like companies like big giants. You already heard the Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, Novartis. So these are some big pharma companies, right? So they will be getting these jobs to this research organization as a outsourcing jobs. So here you can work. Okay. Okay. So
Thank
I'm
you,
going
sir.
to.
Sir, there is one more question, sir. So, to what extent does Indian patient report ADR, adverse drug?
See, it's not like the extent. I can say that if you are having a simple, small, teeny things also, you can report. You have the right to report it. Okay, it's not like that you need a greater extent, or you need to be hospitalized for a particular for reporting a particular adverse event. It's not like that. Suppose if you are getting uh, a specific adverse event, or if that is not expected, that is not wanted, so you can report as it is. Right from there itself, you can report. You can take mobile, you can download app, or you can go to the CDSCO website and you can report each and everything. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for providing knowledge on adverse drug reactions. Session was very much interactive, and we got an opportunity to interact with you, sir. Thank you. And now I would like to request Dipanjana to share the screen to display the certificate.
One more questions was there in the chat box. I can see, can the patient themselves report adverse drug reactions? Sayan Vishwas has asked. Okay. Yes, absolutely. If patients are able to report by themselves, then it's fine. It's well and fine. It's nothing harm in there that if a patient is reporting. And if patient want to get the report submitted by their HCP or doctors, that also will be helpful, because doctors will be giving much more precise information compared to patient. Patient is not a HCP, right? So patient can report. It's not like in if you see the outside country across the globe, there are patients who reporting adverse event. There are HCPs who reporting the adverse event. So it's nothing harm in it. If a patient, being a patient, I can't report. It's not like that. Okay. So any more questions?
Sir, one more question is there.
Okay.
So can the patients themselves? So why was there no drug inspector tax for last 3 years?
Drug inspector test. Are you saying that related to vacancies related to drug inspector? Navakumar Barik, right? So Navakumar, are you asking about the job that is comes under drug inspector role? Is it like that? Oh, you are saying about the exam. So see, this is drug inspector. This is fully related to government procedures. I can't assume anything, or I can't tell you anything regarding this. But yeah, it may happen, because in certain areas, if you see the government sector, okay, if you see the government sector, there are vacancies, but due to some government regulations, internal policies, and some of the intent also, I can say that intent is not there for government to recruit new drug inspector, or taking exams, or these things. Okay. So first of all, we government should have the intent first, that yes, we do require some drug inspector in various vacant posts, but that's up to them. That as a private people, or like in working in a private company, I can't tell you that why government is not creating vacancies of drug inspector, right? So it's totally depends on government policies. Okay, so if it comes, then you will get to know by they will be putting some advertisement, or they will be giving notifications into websites. So you need to keep a track, or you need to check it on a daily basis, so that you will get to know. And for drug inspector, I can tell that much, that you need certain number of years experience as a manufacturing chemist. Okay, all of you know that schedule, right? So you must have some scheduled drug experience prior to apply the this drug inspector role. Okay, at least 3 to 5 years experience as a manufacturing chemist. You must have that experience as well to apply. I think being a fresher, you can't take this drug inspector. You can't be appearing, I think. That was the criteria for our time. I don't know the exact criteria currently, but when I passed out on that time, the scenarios was like that, that you must have a 3 to 5 years of experience as a manufacturing chemist. Okay.
Sir, I have a question. One
Yes,
question.
yes.
Sir, can I say that if I have that a medical shop experience, then
Sorry, could you please come again?
I am typing.
Your voice is breaking. Navakumar, you can text it over here in chat box. You can text it. No issue.
Sir, thank you, sir, for your knowledgeable and appreciable words on adverse drug reactions. So there is a time constraint, so we have to move forward. Sir, there is one certificate for you, sir. So I would like to request Dipanjana to display the certificate.
Yeah, thank you, Ritika. Thanks everyone for joining the session. It was a pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Sir, we would like to honor the speaker. Here we are like to honor the speaker, Mr. Tarun Kumar Chattopadhyay, for today's event with the certificate of appreciation. Thank you, sir, for joining. It's an immense pleasure to have you with us today. And we are so glad that we got an opportunity to interact with you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks everyone for attending the session.
And now I would like to call Professor Dr. Sanjay De, Professor and HOD of SOMS, convener of this event, to give a vote of thanks with a positive note. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. A very good afternoon to all of you. At the beginning, I would like to express my heartiest thanks to Mr. Tarun Kumar Chattopadhyay for accepting our invitations and giving consent to deliver a speech within a short span of time.
Yeah.
My heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Chattopadhyay for enlightening the details on the theme encouraging reporting of ADRs by patients under Pharmacovigilance program of India. I feel the students were acquired in-depth knowledge about the topics. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all organizing committee members, especially Dipanjana Das and Ritika Dasgupta for organizing such an event in a well manner on the topics, which is very much useful for budding health science professionals. Last but not the least, I must say thanks to our students for your patience hearing. We are expecting in near future, Mr. Chattopadhyay will cooperate us in various ways to move extra mileage. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you each and everyone for being here with us today. So here we are ending the meeting. Thank you for all once again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ritika. Thanks everyone.